Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable This Morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me live on the phone, I welcome our Director of Public Works, Dan Santos. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
How are you today?
Doing very well, thanks.
Thank you again for dropping in a little early for us. We appreciate that adjustment in the schedule. So I want to talk a little bit about the Barnstable bulkhead. Work is finally underway out there. Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
Yes, well, we've had some problems that were identified with the bulkhead, as I'm sure we've discussed in the past, where some of the bolts were breaking off, and it was obvious that there was something going on in the bulkhead, which is the metal wall at the harbor, was appeared to be tilting in a little bit. Not a lot, I mean, very, tenths of an inch kind of thing, but something that surveyors notice. And when we had the engineers investigate that, it turned out that they found that it wasn't designed and constructed properly, and it was a design error that they didn't catch after it was constructed. So it was determined that they needed to reinforce the structure. This is on the back side of the what you don't see. It's underground, under the parking lot. So what they've started in the last week is they're going to be taking up the pavement and the guardrail and all that, digging up behind the metal wall, and then reinstalling a new steel structure to supplement the one that's there that's not designed the way it should be.
So pretty significant amount of work that's going to be going on down there.
Yeah, it's almost as if you're redoing the project, other than putting in the steel wall. It's called sheet piling. The steel bulkhead itself, that will remain, but it's the things that hold that vertically in place behind that is going to be reinforced. They're not removing the old; they're just adding another, like a secondary beam, if you want to look at it that way, to help support this. And this work is going to go on from now until about the 1st of May. We don't want to interfere with the boating season for the commercial and the recreational users, so we'll be able to get the floats back in and be able to use that facility. We're hoping that the work is completed by then. If not, they're just going to button it up and come back in the fall at the end of the boating season and finish it up then. The contractor is very eager to get this thing done, and so it's probably in their best interest to get it done all in one shot. Otherwise, you have to demobilize and then you go away and then remobilize in the fall. And there are costs associated with having to do things like that twice.
Indeed, indeed. So, obviously, that portion of the marina is going to be closed. Are there any kind of road closures or things people should be aware of? Any areas in the parking lot?
Yeah, it's not really a road. It's more of a driveway cut through that goes from Millway over to Freezer Road. That's blocked. So if you wanted to go to some of the marinas on the west side of the harbor, you have to go to them via Freezer Road. And definitely there's some parking limitations. They've got the area all fenced. So that'll be a little tight for the spring. But again, when it's the heaviest use and when it's needed, it'll be available in the summer. And this is actually a very interesting project. Not the technical part, but the fact that we identified a problem and an engineer who did the work kind of fessed up and said, yep, there's a problem and it's our fault and we're going to take care of it. So this project isn't costing the town a dime. It's being completely done, on the shoulders of the engineer who had the problem in the first place. So they've contracted for the work and they'll get it all done. We have a third-party inspector that has reviewed all the designs and has been involved every step of the way to make sure it's being done right and that we're getting the product that we originally paid for. So it's kind of it's really nice. So oftentimes things like this end up in court and people sue one another and it takes forever and they don't ever really end up in a very satisfactory way. So I'm very pleased with the team we have here, and they negotiated a great deal. But I give the engineer a lot of credit that they basically said, "Yep, It's our problem. We'll take care of it.
I know that rarely happens, so I think we definitely looked out with that. Well, thank you for the update on that, Dan. I wanted to touch as well, of course, I don't think we're going to be having to deal with any snow removal operations, but certainly there are, some road issues out there, some potholes, some frost heaves, et cetera. So can you talk to me a little bit about what's going on in terms of paying attention to those? I know the asphalt plants aren't yet open, so it's a kind of in a temporary fix mode.
Yes, basically our repair to potholes is to clean them out, and then we put in what's called cold patch, which is cold asphalt. So it doesn't have the ability to solidify like hot asphalt and turn into a unit, or that concrete type of surface. But it does fill the hole, and in some cases it fills it pretty well for a while. But it is effectively a temporary measure. But we are out in force, with the police find these things, they let us know. Residents call them in. They go on the website or SeeClickFix. Our crews that are out identify them. When I'm out, I call them in. And so whatever way we hear about them, we do respond. And, right after the snow removal, as you know, the epic events that occurred and all the snow removal, which we were doing until a week ago, so now there's a lot of potholes all at once. So it's going to take a little while to get to them all. So we once again appreciate everyone's patience. That if they call them in and let us know, we will get to them. We do go out and look at them all. It just may take a little longer than they're used to with us, just because of the sheer number all at once. And we'll be continuing this work for probably a couple of months.
Great. Yeah, and definitely lots of work to be done out there, lots of things to be attended to. And again, I think it's important to let people know that if they do notice them, that you do want people to call them in and use that SeeClickFix app or website as well. It's a really effective tool. You can actually take a picture and send it right in.
Yeah, it's great. And it's on your smartphone. You just go to the app store, however you do it, and it's right in there, SeeClickFix, and it asks you where you live, because they have these around the country, and you choose the one for Cape Cod and Barnstable, and it's very easy. It doesn't cost anything, and it's almost fun to use.
Exactly. It is a lot of fun to use. Well, Dan, anything else going on in DPW these days that you would like to get out there to our viewers?
Well, we're gearing up for our spring construction season with road projects and water projects and water main flushing. All those things are in the planning stages, and in the next few weeks and months, you'll start to see those things get underway. A particular note is Main Street in Cotuit, from Ocean Ave down to Oregon Beach, for a full reconstruction, and probably see that getting underway in the next couple of weeks, as long as the weather cooperates, with some tree removal and preliminary work.
Great. Well, we will talk with you more about those projects as we get closer. Dan, I thank you so much as always for joining us here on the show. A pleasure to have you join us.
Yeah, my pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dan Santos, of course, is our Director of Public Works, joining us here on Barnstable.